Dr. Mark Jangizi here with your Science Moment. Today I'm going to talk about how many folks on the anti-lockdown side that were arguing with us against the censorship that was coming down from social media, coordinated with the government. A lot of these folks who seemingly were free expression, I keep hearing from some of them that I'm no longer for free expression, they say, because our opponents are against free expression and they're censoring us, so why should we fight asymmetrically and let them censor us, but us not try to censor back? Now, this kind of might makes right kind of attitude is just, it appalls me, actually. It's exactly what one doesn't want to do. The entire point about being on the side that's on the good side, and I believe that we're on the good side, and you can only be on the good side if you believe in freedom and free expression, and if you believe in a lot of these freedom-oriented, classical, liberal sorts of ideas. Yes, you are handicapped. This is the story behind all of the superheroes. This is the story behind the police who are justifiably trying to solve some particular kind of problem or save society. They are always handicapped in their efforts to do so, whereas the criminals are not. This is just part of doing business. If you want to push for free expression, if you want a society that at the end of the day is free and it is devoted to the kinds of free principles, the principles that we believe in, then you have to fight under those same principles and use them all along the way and not throw them out. Now, those are, there's of course utilitarian sorts of reasons as well. Why would you want to censor your opponents? It sounds great, let's just censor them so that we don't hear them anymore. No. If you censor them, what does that mean? It means that they can hear you, but you can't hear them. You are therefore in an information deprived status, a situation relative to them. You never want to be in an information deprived situation relative to your opponents. Why would you do that to yourself? This just harms you. It doesn't harm them. A third reason, or a third point here, is that you want your opposition to speak because only by virtue of them speaking and saying things that are ultimately false, because you believe that they're false, they're wrong, they're immoral, they're incorrect, they're not evidence-based, or whatever it might be, only by virtue of them saying certain kinds of things and having it recorded can the reputation networks over time show how wrong they were, and that makes their reputations get lower and lower. If they can't speak and they can't be recorded as having spoken in the larger public square, then there's just no record of them being ridiculous, right? You want the crazies to come out. The only way that you can show that someone's crazy is they have a record of saying crazy stuff. And finally, of course, there's the defense for free expression in these ways. I've got 50-something videos that are based on. But a fourth one to focus on for why, yes, we have to fight asymmetrically and believe in free expression even for our opponents, is that at the end of the day, we don't want to be a community, a team that is fighting just because we're on a team and we're trying to, slay our opponents. That's not the point. We don't want to be on a team. When you are on a team, you suffer from the kinds of irrationalities, the mass hysteria, collective groupthink kinds of irrationalities that we've been talking about over the last 150 episodes of the Science Moment, of my Science Moment channel. You suffer from those psychosocietal effects that all humans suffer from. You don't want to be doing that. The whole point is to avoid those sorts of things. And the way that you avoid those things is to allow the conversation in your community to be shaped by the entire community, by the entire public square. And that requires, that movement towards the truth requires that all sides, even the misinformation sides, all sides are involved in the conversation. That's the only way that at the end of the day, if we win, we have a society that's not only free, but is actually moving towards what's actually right, what's actually true, what actually works. Otherwise, you've just created a society for yourself by believing that it's okay to censor your opponents because they're censoring us. That's just a kind of might makes right world. And when you get the world that you want, how are you any different from them? How are you moving towards the truth any differently than them? How do you uphold freedoms any differently than they do? Of course, you'll use your authoritarian means to implement some other bullcrap, but ultimately you're an authoritarian just like they are, which is both wrong in the deontological sense of you're not allowed to do that, and two, it's counterproductive from a utilitarian perspective. And that was your science moment.